はい、お願いします。Okay, I think we still got Kim changing. We may get one or two more coming in, but let's everybody stand up. And are we recording? Okay, good. Everybody up? Okay. And one of the things that we've been kind of stressing is, you have to have sort of a game plan. Game plan for us in training is mind. Okay. In other words, that's what it is. If you're just out there flailing away, you'll get something. But it's nice to have areas of focus that you feel are productive. And one of them, we've been just saying, you put your weight here, but you don't set your weight. You're supposed to be like 70% water anyway. And you put a container of water, down, and if it's not moved, the water can be very still, but it's not set. So when I set my weight, I create subject object. But all of us are very similar. We're 70% water, we're 70% water. And so right about here, what does that mean? Are you thinking about it? No, it's a feeling. Now, what I can do, for example, just very easily, I just come in. Okay, now I'm going to ask Paul to set his weight there. Let's usually get this in. You see? So you relax. Yeah. Now set your weight there. That's it. Now, what is setting your weight? It's usually overthinking and creating a polarization, subject object. That's it. Yeah. Think of something you don't want to do. Okay? Yeah, we have a lot of that in life. Okay, so we'll just kind of go like this. But yeah, that's pretty solid. Okay, yeah. But David was almost like an oak tree. I'm pushing. Okay, so there's that. Okay, and that's important. One of the things we can do, for example, now from that feeling of center, I just want you to walk to the road. Just walk. Just him. All right, you go like that. Okay, all right. Now, what I want you to do, walk from there. Okay, these are just basic exercises. We used to do a lot of these at the Shidu school. Was Tojima-sensei. And you'd be surprised how many black belts flunk the test. All right. In other words, just think of a million things and walk to the wall. Okay, just your mind is just occupied. Okay. Now go back. You're focusing, but you're not setting. You see what I mean? Focus and setting are not the same thing. I'm going to focus, now I'm going to set. No, your weight is there, but it's not set. And you walk from your center towards that other wall. Okay? Simplify. Just walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Then you just walk through that just like it's not there at all. Okay? Tojima-sensei would do that. Now I'm telling you what you're supposed to do. Tojima-sensei wouldn't. But you see, Linda Holiday Sensei and I here from California, so we used to do a lot of this stuff in California. And the Japanese had no idea. And these really good black belts were flying to test. And Linda and I were going like this, and Tojima-sensei be nodding, okay. In fact, what would happen is you pass the test, you got a chance to go over there. And if you flunked the test, you had to keep staying there trying to figure out what the test was. Okay, so everybody, I'm not going to test anyway, just walk across the mat from your center. Good, keep going. And that's practice. Anytime you're going to go out to the post office or the mailbox, or going to go, walk across the room, you can practice that. You walk from your center. Most of the time, our minds are too noisy. So one thing, see, you're focusing, but you're not sitting. It's a very relaxed, loose, but not drifty state. And what do things do in water? They float. But, unless there's a current, they don't drift. They're going to drift. It's nice to have an anchor. Okay? Now, one of the things there is just, for example, here, there's a relaxed weight under your feet. Okay? Now, we're not going to do this, but somebody comes to lift you, all of a sudden they go up here. Huh? And that weight under feeling can go underneath and past the mat. That's another thing you can do. You can practice, I call it grounding. There's all this stuff going on in the world, but there's also this dialogue going on, the noisy mind plays. So anytime you can relax, locate your center, or relax. Once you get this, one of the other adjoining things you get is the weight underside, the under your feet. Now, for example, if I was to do that, and I go over here, and then I go like this, and he's pretty solid. Okay. And as you kind of do this, you get images sometimes like roots, or a shaft that goes way down, way down, way down, way down. But you're not going to fall down the shaft. You're just kind of suspended there. Okay. All right. Now the other thing, for example, is extend your arm. Now everybody knows you're supposed to do this, right? All right. I come to push, you don't push back. You are extending, which is different than pushing back. That's my push. Okay. Okay. All right. So one of the things, for example, let's just say this is a great camera spot. You push it. I'm going to push you, push back. Okay, good. Please don't balance that way. Okay, now he keeps his weight here, but it's not set weight. And as he relaxes, that weight goes underneath, but it's not set weight. This right here. See, he's centered. I can push or pull. I don't, and he doesn't pull back against my pull or push back against my push. Yeah, he's there in a thank you. A relaxed way. Okay. Good. Those are just a couple of things. Now, one of the things that we're going to do, come on in a bit, is, people talk about self-defense, but one of the most important things we learn in self-defense is how to fall. Okay? Now, judo, for example, they have you stand this way and you go back and everything's a break fall. But what I want you to do, let's come over here. Once you're clear so we get a good camera shot. Okay? Now, I'm going to push him, but he keeps this and he has the weight under his feet. He's just going to take a step back into a triangle. Yeah. Okay. The other side. Because, basically the triangle is very stable, but the movement to triangulate is also stability. You're not going to walk around like this in daily life, You're going to be standing, but your weight is here. Your weight is kind of here, but not set. And that feeling extends down through your feet. So I give you a shove, and basically, what happens right here is maybe I grab him and I pull him. He takes a step forward into a triangle. Okay. Now attacks tend to be not like fancy. Somebody's going to grab you, or they're going to push you, and then something. So you see how just a simple step. But if I'm off balance, okay, you see that becomes an issue, right? Most assaults, according to Robert Pogosenko, who taught police tactics, are not, you're not going to face a, a kickboxer or anything like that. They're simple. Somebody's going to either shove or grab you with one hand, or shove or grab you with two hands. Okay, so one of the things I do, I'm gonna not shove them, I'm gonna push, but just steps back into a triangle. You can do that out of, and to do that without losing your balance, you have your weight here, and you have your weight on your side. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna get to the fall in just a little bit. Okay, but what I'd like you to do is to get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So partner's gonna shove you. Triangle, triangle. Okay. All right. Have your weight here, not in a set way. If you set your weight here, you start to look kind of ridiculous. Keep your center. Natural posture. Okay. So one group of 2, one group of 3. Okay. Let's just practice that step back. You see how a lot of times falling is really good self-defense training, right? It's just really good self-defense training. You don't, I mean, we tend to think, what do you do? Attack. Well, most attacks are, 50-50. They're either going to push you off balance, so you can do that, lose your balance, whatever they're going to do after the push, or they pull you, you lose your balance, and whatever they do after the pull, it's not, you're going to not fight Bruce Lee or the Incredible Hulk, you see. Okay, right. So our calmness sound, okay? Okay, now what we can do, if somebody comes to shove you, is we can put more down. They come to shove me, put more down. Right, right. But, we're not going to always be, in that awareness, be nice. If you both come to shove me or something, we go like this, and I look like I was sensei for a moment. I like that. But we're not going to get that. Okay, you see, we're not. Realistically, we're going to be on a much more mundane level of thought and being. But we can, our Aikido practice can keep us in a place that's pretty close. And what happens, maybe if I'm here and here, and with a triangle, I'm able to adjust in case somebody either grabs me. Okay, now what we're going to do, okay, is this is simple, okay? Okay, now he's just going to be standing, no triangle. I'm going to grab him and pull him and be off balance, so you're worried about what I'm going to do. Okay, now he's going to settle his weight there, and then boom, he's going, okay. Now do that to me. Good. He doesn't know what he's pulling in. But if I lose my center, lose my composure, whatever it is with that pull, I'm going to walk into something. He doesn't realize that when he's pulling me, he doesn't realize what he's going to do. Does that make sense? We're just going to do So now no triangle. You're not going to walk around. Hello, I'm Jack Wada. You know, we're not going to do that. We're going to think that guy's weird. But you've got your center. You've got a little bit of a base or weight under. So right here, I'm going to pull him. You can step with either foot, doesn't matter. Boom, good. If he grabs my wrist, okay, we go like this. He takes a step, and then he rolls, right? That's basic self-defense. He's learning how to maneuver. Also, it's not quite so evident there, but he has a center, and he has some ground. Okay, got it? So we're going to keep the same groups. Going to add that. Okay, so when you are stepping into a triangle, either foot, it's fine, either foot. Okay, all right. A yarrow, a quick update. Okay, we're working a couple of things. One, what I want you to do is put your weight in your lower tummy, but don't set it. Okay, I know that's a little vague, even if I can. Okay, now think about putting your weight there, which means you're setting it. And yeah, that's a tricky thing. If you don't think, you don't understand it, you can't do it. But if you think, you also throw yourself off. So it's just more of a feeling in the moment. Okay, your weight is there, but it's not set. Okay. All right, now what we're going to have you do is several things. The other thing we did was just the arm out. And now extend, side push. You know, you're not supposed to push back. I push your foot. It's just like the fire hose. Now it's going to bend when there's a stream of water. If the water cuts off, and for example, think about what you're going to do next. Is all of a sudden, see right here, it gets very different. Okay, right. But keep your focus. Keep your focus on your goal. But be aware of the triangle. All right, good. Now, what I want you to do is walk from the center towards the left. Good. Keep going, good. Now, think scattered or think about your center and what happens. Yeah. So, those are basic exercises that sometimes it's just good to, because if you don't understand that, you don't have a game plan. There's a center, there's ground, there's focus, there's positive energy flow. Okay? So all we're doing right here is just saying, okay, now you're not going to stand in a triangle, but most common assaults, apparently, according to Robert Koga, I don't go out there assaulting people and study that. Somebody either shoves you with one hand and does something, or they pull you with one hand. So they got to reach out to you. Okay, now right there, if I push you, you can step back into a triangle, either foot. Boom, good. And what I want you to do now, this time I'm going to pull you. Okay, just take a step forward, either foot, into a triangle. Good. Right? The following, in a lot of ways, is a part of our self-defense program. Okay? All right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And one of the things that we were kind of saying, we're going to move into this a little bit more. He happens to grab and pull. Okay, good. You keep your center. You'll know what he's pulling in. Pull karma. He's going this way. He's here we go with him. Conversely, he grabs and he pushes. Karma. Eastern term. Applied karma. Now, let's just say that he grabs and he's more in a threatening position. Okay, he's not going to push or pull. He's about to do one. For example, we can go like that. You see I'm giving you a game plan. Okay, we're the Golden State Warriors. We're going to open against the Lakers. The Lakers got a lot of all-stars, but they're all old. What are we going to do? No, we're just going to go out there and run around. No, we're going to have a game plan. Okay, now this is not a sport. So what we're going to do, thank you, everybody up, move in. We're just going to warm up a little bit. What we're going to do is we have one triangle. Now either foot, I'm going to step back and do the roll. I'm going to get back up. I'm going to do both sides. So on your own. This is part of our self-defense. If you're pushed or pulled, you're used to taking a step before you fall. If you just don't take a step, you're going to take a break fall. We don't want that. Good. Now, just to kind of keep this, judo, I'm going to go this way with the break fall. All right, that's good. A lot of judo is grappling. We don't want to do that. We don't want to stay on the ground. We want to get back up. Robert Koga, when he was teaching police officers, some of them have a grappling thing. Okay, we're going to. No, if you're on the ground, get back up. Don't stay on the ground and think you're going to do something on the ground. If you can, get back up. If somebody goes on top of you down there, then you got to do something. If they're on the ground, you're on the ground. But most of the time, if you're not down, get back up. Now, what I'm going to have you do this time, okay, it's not just step back and do the kind of what we call the sit fall. I want you to go this way, be able to recover. Now, being able to do that on a hard surface is, we're not going to ask you to do that. Do the, you step with your left foot, left foot. Okay. Same thing. This is part of our defense. Keep your center, go. Do both sides. Maybe that's it. Okay. I think it's got it. Okay, good. Good. Now, it's a useful skill, okay? I'm gonna play act like I'm gonna shove them harder. Okay, in other words, he can't step back and keep his balance, he's going down. Okay, and assuming that he's not gonna hit something, he has the freedom to be able to roll and get back up. I'm gonna pretend I'm pushing you hard, but exaggerate, okay? And he's back up. And he's ready. Okay, we'll do the other side. I'm ready to do something else, and he just is able to roll out of it. Okay? You get what I'm talking about here? Okay. Now, the other thing, for example, I'm sneaky. I'm going to shove him, knock him to the ground from the back, and then, okay? So what he's going to do is he's going to step forward into a triangle and take a roll forward. I don't expect that. I'm expecting, and I'm going to get, you see how the rolling actually is self-defense? Okay. I'm going to give you a sneak attack again. So we're going to practice that because we do the rolls as part of the technique, but we don't appreciate that there's a usefulness in the training that we got that's supposed to, you know, help us out. Okay, I'm going to give him a shove from the back. He takes a step into a triangle and he learns to roll. Now he's got to learn to take a roll. If it's a beginner, you don't start him out by shoving him that way. You show him how to get down on their knees and roll easy. And then as they get a little better, you gentle push. Most people don't want to fall. They want to win. I want to throw you and you can't throw me, but then they don't get the lesson. You see, the rolling is part of our self-defense. Okay, so this time what we're going to do, okay, is, okay, he's going to grab and push. We're turn with him and go that way. I don't have to enter on this, and he's going to push. I'm going to turn with him. Got this? Step. And my ability to step into a triangle when I'm pulled is what I get here. Okay. Okay. So he's going to grab and push. I'm going to rotate and step. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm just giving you a game plan. We practice this all the time, but you might not get the context of it. You might not understand, you know, why this is very beneficial. Okay? So again, over it, this is again right in the middle. It's not a shoulder. Okay? You're not going to be standing in a triangle high. You're probably going to be standing this way, but you have a recovery. You find the triangle really quick. Like he's going to grab and push. Okay, step and turn. Now, boom. Does that make sense? It makes sense. You're getting the game plan. If it doesn't make sense, we got to go over and work with you a little bit more because it's beneficial. Okay? Let's keep the same groups and we'll, somebody grabs you and gives you a shove. You say, you're going to take a step back, but there's momentum on their part. You rotate with it, extend your arm, and you step. Just like if somebody pulls you, you take a step into a triangle. Okay? The rolling is a major part of our self-defense. Okay. Keep the partner that you have. Yeah, I'll get out of your way. Sorry. We don't normally, see, you're standing in the triangle naturally, but you're not going to be in public. Yeah. Okay? But part of the training is to get you to where, you know, the rolling, you take a step forward to roll forward, you take a step back to roll back. You find the triangle very quick, don't you? If you're not here. If you're up here, you get knocked down or jerked off balance. Okay? You see what I mean? So this is actually good training. We don't know whether life is going to pull us or push us off balance. We're just, you're easy. We're a Zen state, even though Aikido and Zen are not exactly the same thing. But yeah. Okay. Now you're pulling from the shoulder. Okay, one of the things right here, I'm going to turn a little early. I'm going to wind up pulling. I'm going to wait for him to shove me and take the step.
No.
It's called karma. See, you're not receiving push. Okay, you say you're moving a little early, so you wind up pulling from the shoulder. Okay, push me. Okay, good. It's called instant karma. Why in the world are you trying to knock me down? Well, of course, you're just practicing, so you're helping me to, program myself in some sense, or get a game plan. Aikido's got to help you in other areas. These days, it's like life will do this to you. Gee, how come the pandemic is out of control again? Well, it is. Right? And there are a couple of other things. This can mess you up if you're here, but you're located a deeper, calmer place. Okay. Actually, for now, okay, I want you to just push. Good, good. See, it's karma. Push. You don't have to push me brutally, but all right. And as you push, I use that. Boom. All right. You're Stephen Curry. Great. I don't get you the ball. You can't do anything, can you? I'm supposed to get you the ball so you can win the game. All right. 3 guys are around you because they know that none of us can do it except you. Well, you gotta be very crafty and get open, take the shot. Okay. And like right here, I mean, I gotta be ready. If I'm Curry, I gotta be ready to catch the ball. And so that's the whole thing. Rotate with it, step into a triangle. But feel his push. Instead of taking off balance, take a step back, turn, and then step in. That's our game plan. Go again. Yeah, just make sure, it's better. So you're using his power. Okay, now that happens. If that happens, okay, for example, push. Okay, good. It works either way. Okay, now come with your right. Now push. Okay, good. Same movement. You don't push me. I'm Curry. You don't give me the ball. Deadliest guy in the NBA, but everybody else knows the other 4 guys are totally screwed. So let's just quadruple team Steph and leave the basket wide open. You still better get it to Steph. Okay? Right? Yeah. So what it is you are ready. It doesn't matter which way you turn. See, they're thinking push or pull and then. And so what we want to be able to do is to be able to intercept that and create a harmony with their push or pull. And this is where the triangle and the falling is very good. It's natural. You push, you'll take a step and roll, or take a step back and roll backwards. We know that. But we don't give it a context. So in a lot of ways, what am I supposed to do? I'll just get all the steps. Okay? If I'm the coach and I know they're going to quadruple team him, I'll line everybody up. Of course, you're going to all go to him, but they can't be around him this way. You see what I mean? But you're Steph Curry. You got to be ready to get the ball, whether it's a push or a pull. Okay, that's the nage rule. Okay, it's just supposed to say, oh yeah, this is karma. I really shouldn't be shoving or jerking people around, but it's entertaining here. I'm learning something. I'm helping other people learn. They're helping me learn that. Okay? All right. Now you're already kind of missing out on it. Okay? Like one of the things right here, let's say he pushes. Good! You want to use that. All right? Okay, now back off there a little bit. Now grab me and push. Okay, good. You see, that's karma. Use it. You're a part of it. You're not trying to do anything bad to him, but you're a part of his action. We're supposed to teach him something. In other words, we're doing this and we realize that what we put out, we get back. That's karma. If we put good stuff out, we get good stuff back, largely speaking, not totally that way. But if we put out aggression, we get that back. In this case, it's not aggression, it's just my own aggression. You know, I mean, basically, letting me know I'm sort of out of control. And I better know how to get out of it, which is take a roll. Okay, so there's an educated process going on. So go again, he's going to shove you. Okay, use his power. Use his power. That's it. Yes, that's better. Yeah, don't be afraid of the push. You take a step back and turn it, you dispel it. You blend with it, but you use it. Right? Okay? Okay. Now, the other thing that is important, okay, let's just say he extends out. Okay, let's just get a little bit more of yeah, extend out, okay? Now the hose is unbendable, but the hose has a nozzle. See, to attack you, somebody must extend. They create a fire hose effect. Well, let's say he's going to come shove or something here, and I go, all right. Now, I don't want to get hit in the face with a blast from a fire hose. So, you know, there's an area where, okay, that's a bit more advanced. Okay? But in certain cases, you know, what we really do, basic game plan. If he's going to grab me, he must extend. Now, he may pull, okay, which case we go on. He may push, which case we go listen. Okay? Either case, I'm manufacturing from this position, either in a step back or in a turn and step. I'm creating a triangle. Haruo said it. He says all power, that moment of impact is a triangle. Boom. When Stephen Curry shoots, boom, that moment of release is a triangle. And of course, when you're cutting with a sword, you're forming a triangle. Okay? Got it? Got it? Got it? Okay. So now what we're going to do is let's just do. Let's say I'm trying to bend the hose. So I'm just going to leave the nozzle. Now the nozzle is behind to his elbow. All of a sudden, I'm in control of the nozzle. One of the things you wind up doing is realizing when you have your center and you have your own system in some level of balance, you control where the nozzle of his fire hose is. It takes a little practice. So the question is, let's just say, you know, am I trying to twist the fire hose or am I controlling the nozzle? The nozzle here is through his elbow. The fire is in the basement. Okay? Now all we're going to do here, now coming with a shove, boom, boom, boom. Now what I'm going to do right here, tweak me in the nose. This is why right here we're moving here. Now, Songkyo. I'm trying to twist the fire hose. No, I'm going to create the nozzle to be here. Now I'm going to point the nozzle because the fire's in the basement. You control the nozzle. That is where his key is going. You don't try to bend or twist the fire hose. That's our game plan. He grabs with two hands. Okay, where's the nozzle? It's right here. Where's the nozzle? It's right here. And to do that, I can't fragment my thinking. In fact, you know, after a while, you simplify your thinking because basically you're based here in here with a positive sense of flow. Yeah, you got to learn a little bit. Let's say he's coming to shove with his hand here. I'm going to his outside. Now here, fingers, thumb hand. Now come in at me. This is, come on, man. I can move the nozzle. I'm receding here. Now, this is important. I'm shooting myself with it. So it's very important. Now, right here, there's a vulnerability. So we go under the arm. And right here, I can control where the nozzle is. I'm twisting the hole. The nozzle is right here. Now, I'm going to point the nozzle down. And I have a sound here. Okay. If you don't have a game plan, mind, you're flying blind. Who the 49ers play this week? Okay, Packers, yeah. All right. You better have a game plan. We're going to go out there and hit and throw and tackle and yeah. That's old school football. We're tougher, we're going to win. No, new school football. You got to have a plan. And then, of course, the body will follow the mind. And if we understand their plan better than they do, we control the nozzle of the flow of the game. Okay? Makes sense? Yes. Okay, so central attack. People are not, you know, unless I'm here, they're not going to grab the shoulder. They're going to come for the middle or both shoulders. Okay? So let's change partners on this one. Okay. If you're thinking you're out there, so somebody's coming this direction, we're going to, first of all, if he's coming here, all right, yeah, come on, come right for the middle. Get on shoulder. Now come on in. That's good. Same hand, same hand. Now, right here, you see, that's potential game breaker. So right at this particular point, now right here, I'm trying to twist the fire hose. Once you get your own flow going, you create where the nozzle is. The nozzle is the elbow. See, I'm going to try to make the wrist the nozzle. This is the old nozzle. No. Okay, now the point of it is, this is his nozzle. Now that's my nozzle and it's leading the system. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Who leads? Well, after a while, the nage leads. Initially, if you come in this direction, ukemi leads. Now come in with an actual shove right here. So you feel how the shoulder connects, but this is supporting it. Okay, that's right hand. My right hand needs to do something. If I'm fumbling the ball here, I call a play, you're the quarterback, and it's not clear in your mind, so you're thinking too much, you fumble the ball. Okay, you see what I mean? Okay, as he's coming, all I gotta do is show him the shoulder. Same hand to same hand, we get fingers. Now, obviously, this is a very difficult point because of, guess what? So guess what? Okay, you know this one. We're moving to there. Okay, and be solid. I'm trying to twist the fire hose, even though it's his nozzle, and you know, boy, no, I'm gonna relax. All of a sudden, my nozzle. And you know, it's pretty obvious after a while. We're not a sport, but whose team is controlling the game? Yeah. Usually that team will win. We're not a sport. Nage at that point, who is going to lead here? Well, the one who's controlling the nozzle. And when you have, for example, you have your own positive center round, extension, whatever, then you're relaxed. You control where the nozzle is. That's all you do. The energy follows where the nozzle goes. If you can't do that, you're flying blind. You understand? Yeah. If you're coming to shove or something, we go like this. That's good. That's good. All right. Now where's the nozzle? The nozzle's right here. And what am I doing when I control the nozzle? I'm controlling, see, your stream of water and my stream of water start to go here, and I control the nozzle. And all I'm doing is not controlling you, but taking your stream and my stream, we create something better than a fight. You see what I mean? That's all. Yeah, I won because I threw him down and hit his head on the concrete, and he's out of it. All right, well, maybe if there's a malicious intent on his part, that's karma. The way Bruce Lee would put it, they do it to themselves. How would you do it? They did it to themselves. So our karma slate is pretty clean. I mean, just a little rocky there a little bit. We don't walk around thinking about hurting people or beating people up. It's too crazy. There's enough of stuff about I gotta win, I gotta get the better of you. There's too much of that in the world right now. You gotta clean the blackboard a little bit just to, right? Okay, all right. Okay, now, one of the things right here, I got your nozzle, but I'm not doing much. Now I'm going to create, it's my nozzle, and it's, going out your elbow. Now it's going that way. You see what I mean? That's your game plan. Now, what does that mean? It means a stream of water going through your hose and a stream of water going to my hose form a larger hose. And as the nage, I create the nozzle. His stream of energy, along with mine, create much more power than I have. Right? One thing Mr. O had to realize was the pitcher was giving him a tremendous amount of power by throwing 100 miles an hour. And if he could just wait and get his bat out there and have his balance and everything like that, the pitcher, I mean, he would be challenged. I mean, I'm sure he could just go boom and knock it out of the park. So it's a lot easier when the pitcher is throwing and you're just saying, okay, now it's our power going out. Like, that's what I learned from our sensei. So one of the things here, it's a big fire hose and it's thick and there's a lot of water going through it. Now I'm going to make it our hose. You gotta make it manageable. He's 7'1", he's at the hoop, and I'm Stephen Curry. What am I thinking? Well, if he comes to me in an obvious way, I'm gonna dump it off over to Wiseman for a dunk. But on the other hand, if it's just me and I don't have a passing angle, I'm not gonna go away from him. I'm gonna go into it with my head, create an angle, and put it off with an angle. And I'm gonna use his power against him. And see what I mean? Yeah. 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 See, the point is, his system and my system create a much more powerful flow than my system trying to beat his system. That's our game plan. If there's somebody strong, they have a strong intent, we use that. We become part of it, and it's common. Right? It's a good way of thinking. All right? Okay. Okay. So one of the main things is that, we tend to, we're play acting here. But on the other hand, you want to give your partner something to work with. Okay, your partner is Stephen Curry, you've got the ball. Well, guess what? You should probably get Steph the ball, for the shot. And if you don't, you take it and miss, which generally the other Warriors did last year. They were horrible when he wasn't on the court. When he was on the court, they were like the 5th best offense in the league with a bunch of guys that weren't any good. He was that good. But he couldn't take them over that because it was just one guy. But if he had 5 people feeding a collective team fire hose, and he's sort of the focal point of it, then you can't take him away by quadruple teaming him. Okay? Now for us, we have a mind, we have a body. We have something called spirit, and when you put the 3 of them together, you get a positive flow of energy. The Aikido is about realizing that what you're really doing, you should be taking your partner's energy and adding it to yours, and you're creating a harmonious motion. We use self-defense, so it looks like I'm throwing somebody down, but that's just the name of the game. In football, people hit each other. In basketball, people throw the ball towards a hoop. A round thing. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's a game, but that's what you see. And then if you're really good at it, you may make millions of dollars. It's a really funny thing. Educators, things like that, don't make anywhere near that amount. But that's just the nature of the world. It's nuts. So one of the things, for example, let's just say he's coming to shove or grab. He must reach and extend, whether he's going to pull me or push me. Okay? So we control the nozzle. Now, what we're going to do, this is more neutral. Okay? Now, this is important. Remember, let go. Extend your arm out. I'm going to try to bend the fire hose. Unbendable line. Hold firm. The nozzle. The nozzle. The nozzle. It's a little quicker. But we're going to work just for a little bit. Menacing. Nothing's happened yet, but not cool for me. Well, where's his power? It has to be over here, doesn't it? He must extend. Now, for example, he pulls. Okay, good. Thank you. The other team has the ball underneath the Warrior basket, and somebody inbounds the ball to Steph, and he's right underneath the thank you. 2 points. I didn't have to do anything. Okay? But right now, we're going to work with that firm Got it? Okay, first of all. Yeah. Now here, this is the nozzle of my hole. So again, the game plan. Now, your mind is like a blackboard. And most of the time it's filled with thoughts that don't help you. It's called graffiti. I'm trying to give you thoughts on the blackboard that will give you a game plan so your body can flow into it. I got the information, but I can't read it because there's too much graffiti. So relax completely. That's cleaning the blackboard off so you get the instructions. Just right where you are right now. Don't add to the graffiti. Clean. Relax. Okay. Okay. So that's again more of a fixed position, which can be somebody just toying with you, messing with you. They're cool. If you let them mess with you, they're winning. Yeah, you haven't done anything yet. But I'm tired of this. If I'm out here, I'm trying to bend the fire hose. And if I'm just here, there's too much on the blackboard. And I still have that cross step to get a little closer to that much. Okay? Got it? Okay, let's rotate different partner for the last couple of minutes. You get the game plan? Yeah. Yeah. You got to sometimes, it's like Bill Belichick. He's horrible. Got fired. No, he got fired in Cleveland Brown coach. And, he basically, pitchers were not very good. It wasn't a great thing. But he would just go in and, he would say, okay, if we do all of these things, we're going to win the game. And the players after a while realized if they did all of those things, they'd win. And then, if they lost, he could point and say, okay, this is where we fell short on ABC. So we didn't win. After a while, they began to say, he knows what he's talking about. Obviously he does, even though he's a pain in the butt. So, that's the game plan. This is what we're going to do. We're going to rush for this amount. We're going to time of possession. We're going to limit our turnovers to, it's not heady stuff. But if you figure, okay, this is the parameters. They shift week by week because the opposition changes. But it's not relativity stuff. It's more like pretty common sense. But he said, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, we do all those things, we'll win. And if we lose, where do we fall short? People figure it out after a while. You got everybody on a collective game plan. Then he got Tom Brady, and yeah. So I mean, the mind is powerful. If you don't have a good game plan, you can have all the talent in the world. Well, the Warriors right now, if they're all healthy, they don't need much. If they have Curry and they have the big three and they have Andre out there, they know exactly what to do. You could put unless the first guy totally messes everything up. No, it's just kind of cool. Yeah, in fact, I'm just learning from watching these guys and moving with them. Wow. Then all of a sudden that's imparted, right? But that wisdom is not mental purely. There's a sense where there's a beingness to it, right? Because it's not a sport, but a lot of times you can tell teams that prepare, teams that really have a game plan, teams that execute it within their mind and their body, and they have a certain sort of spirit to show up with a great game plan, show up with a lot of physical skills, but you leave your game, behind all your into the problems of your divorce. You're not going to persevere. So you got to say, oh, yeah, I got someone on, feel a little more sense. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to bow out in just a second. So a little bit of what we were working. Oh, come on. Okay. Now this is a couple of other things. This one in 6 off. This is stuff Kojima Sensei worked with us on. Just put your hands there. Okay. Okay, that's good. Nothing special. But focus on the way here. You put it here, but you don't set it. And then, you're not comfortable to sit that way. Now, a couple of things, again, it's becoming more conscious. Okay, now I'm going to go this way. Now, don't set the weight there, but put weight underneath the chin. Okay? And you're trying to, but put the weight underneath your hands. It doesn't have to be immovable. But see, I'm meditating. I'm meditating. See, your game plan, when you start to erase the thoughts, now start thinking about everything you got to do when you get out of class, okay? What happens is you got this, and you got this, and you got this, okay? All right? Now, he could just kind of lock and get into it. You get rigor mortis. We don't want that. It just stays relaxed. And most of the time, that graffiti is going on, so we get good at erasing the blackboard. Mind is the blackboard. And oftentimes, you can have the best game plan in the world, but if all you see is the graffiti, you're not going to do very well. So he is wiping the blackboard, which means he's relaxing. His weight is kind of in his lower belly, so he's developing some core. There's an underside feeling to his hands, okay? And his chin, and underneath, yes! Okay, thank you. All right. Now, when that graffiti is writing itself, see, that graffiti writes itself after a while. So everybody just take a second or two. Your weight is here, but it's not set. It continues down. Somebody lifts your knee. I mean, the Incredible Hulk comes, they're going to lift you, so it's not like you're unliftable. But if somebody tries to lift your hands, they'll lift your hands. Well, close your eyes. Now, what Kojima Sensei would do, and then you'd forget, and he'd come around. And so you want it to be a body feel. That's harder. Keep your eyes closed. I'm not going to mess with you, okay? Somebody were to come around and push or pull, try to lift the knee or lift the wrist or lift your jaw. You're in a very normal, natural state. And again, your mind is like a blackboard. The graffiti writes itself. Breathe. When you're really here and you've got a good attitude, it's a body feel. Okay, open your eyes. Okay, thank you. Last, for the Sunday class, I put out a notice right before the class. Okay, and I just said bring weapons. So if you're, try to remember to bring weapons for Sunday. We can do the first half hour, and then do a good hour of working and moving with your partner. I would say, we were doing in the park, mostly weapons. Okay, but it's a good idea because there's a lot of stuff that even the stuff that we're working today that translates, you can start to do with Bokan or staff. Okay. So one of the things that really Aikido is supposed to be about, it's supposed to be about ki. And so, Koichi Tohei Sensei, he was very good at it. Kind of his ego took it over. So he, unfortunately, and I never really studied personally with him, but Tojima Sensei from the Shingu school researched Mr. Tohei extensively. So a lot of times he would do these more key approach things as a warm-up. We wouldn't do the Shinto purification stuff, we do this stuff. And it's good in that, you've got to realize that your mind controls your body. If you don't have the right game plan, you can have the right game plan in a horrible team. Okay? Just because you have a great game plan or coach doesn't mean you're going to win in sports. But you can educate players, and they may have more potential than people thought. The year the Warriors first became good recently, they were picked as the 6th seed. There's nothing exceptional about them, and they opened the season 21-2. They hit the league by storm. New coach, new offense, fit the players moving, flowing. The league didn't know what hit them. So a lot of times it's like that. We underestimate our own talent. I can't do that. That's the graffiti writing itself on the blackboard of your mind. So one of the things is as you're sitting, is you relax completely, which is one of Tohei Sensei's major things. You start wiping the graffiti off. You try to stop it, you intensify it. You focus here, you focus here, you focus for the positive flow of energy. And there are checks. Like if you're here, if I were to come around, try to lift your knee or push your chest gently. See, I'm meditating, but I'm in a drifty state. Almost like I'm in a tense state. Relax. So you have your check down. Anytime you have a little time, focus on your center, focus on your breathing. It helps you relax completely. Breathing starts to wipe the blackboard. So thinking thoughts were being present and relaxing. Okay, thank you.